So, Chef, welcome to DC Conversations. Um,
Hi, yeah,
yeah.
sorry.
So, tell us, what did your exploration of Kakatiya food history reveal about Telangana's culinary identity that not many people know of?
Okay. So the Kakatiya story is about some of the micro cuisines of Telangana, which is, the cuisine has evolved over the couple of centuries, but yet it is lesser known. Like if you look at the cuisine of Hyderabad, everybody knows the biryani,
Hmm.
but nobody knows about some of your regional dishes, some of your uh, regional ingredients like say the mahua, say like the forest honey. So there's a lovely story about how these tribals go into the jungles and collect this honey by literally hanging from ropes down a cliffside.
Hmm.
And there's a lot of signature dishes that are made using these ingredients. Everyone thinks of mahua as an alcohol, but yet I'm able to make like a mahua jam. I even make a mahua glaze, which I smoke my chicken with. I smoke my chicken with using a mawa glaze. Mawa oil is also very great for a lot of medicinal properties in our human body. Now, when the tribals used to use a lot of regional ingredients to like medicine, and they were very seasonal. And because it was seasonal, their bodies were able to adapt to a lot of these ingredients. We in our modern culture have forgotten about seasonal foods. And seasonal foods is very important for the body's absorption. Like during the summer, it'll absorb some nutrients. During the winter, for example, you want the paya. Paya is very important during the winter
Hmm.
because it has a lot of protein in it. So why do we eat certain foods at a certain time of the year? And what we did was a lot of travelers came over the centuries. A lot of French travelers, they became ambassadors to the royal nizams and the royal courts. And
Hmm.
they brought a lot of culinary technique to Indian food. For example, the similarity to dumb cooking. Like a do piazza, where you cook onions twice, is a very French technique.
Hmm.
You have another technique, which is your slow cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah, why do we use certain earthenware pots to cook certain dishes, or you use iron to cook certain dishes? We've become so used to using aluminium in the regional areas that people have forgotten what these what the equipment or the utensils gave to food. So we are trying to revive all of that, where you're using smoking for cooking, you're cooking over firewood, you're cooking over a grill, for example. You have this beautiful dish called patarka gosh, which is cooked over stone.
Hmm.
And when you look at how our old masalas were all cooked over, ground over stone,
Yeah.
it gave a different flavor to the food. We are so used to our mixers um, grinding that the actual flavor of an ingredient doesn't come out when you're using a mixer to grind the food.
Hmm.
So we're bringing back some of these old cooking techniques, or getting people to get used to the actual flavor of food. You know, you're seeing a lot of young chefs today. They're just playing with, oh, I've done a fusion dish or I've done something, without knowing the actual history behind a dish.
Yeah.
Besides knowing, they don't even know the nuances of the flavors. Nowadays, every second dish tastes the same, despite whatever they're doing. You know,
True. Yeah.
yeah. So every masala had its own secret blend earlier. Now everything is either from a packet. And when something comes out of a packet, it all starts tasting the same. So I want our younger generation to start going back to the individual masala for that particular dish. So even in the restaurants where we work, we make our own spice blends unique to that particular dish, rather than going to a packet brand and then um, just everything tasting the same. You know, so I think that's the magic of cooking. That it is magical. You know, there are people who love to cook. There are people who don't love to cook. But
Yeah.
I think even those who don't love to cook, they love to eat. And
Yes.
so, yeah, so I think there are two sides to this coin, that the person who loves to cook loves to feed people,
Right.
you know,
Right.
and the person who doesn't like to cook, he does love to eat. So,
Yes.
as a chef, it is still my responsibility to give my guest something authentic. I don't want him coming to my restaurant and eating a butter chicken, for example. I don't want him to come to my restaurant eating a palak paneer. I
Yeah.
want him to come to my restaurant to eat something authentic that I have created. Or I'm still staying true to the roots of that dish. So I think that's what Kakatia is all about. Kakatia a la Francaise is about an amalgamation of technique, because French cuisine is supposed to be the mother of all cuisines, and it is based on cooking techniques.
Yeah.
So I'm not changing the original dish, but I'm refining the technique of that dish in making the dish. So I think a lot of people today also were surprised by the flavors that we brought out, you
Mm.
know, because the team at the culinary lounge were amazing. You know, they helped me bring out the actual flavors of a dish,
Mm.
because they know that cuisine. I know my French technique. They know the nuances of that dish. So
Yeah.
I think it was a perfect marriage of their chefs with my technique, bringing out something original.
Yeah.
So I think yeah, and we want to take this onto an international platform or a national platform. We want to move beyond the butter chicken. We want to move beyond the palak paneer. I don't want a guest coming and say, "मेरे को दाल मखनी और naan दे दो."
Mm.
I want them to come and say, "I want to eat the original roti of Telangana."
Mm.
You know, made out of millets, made out of our bodies are accustomed to millets. You know,
Mm.
so why don't we give them something that is home to us, original, crafted beautifully, and take it to an international level?
Right. So when you discuss this, proposition with Gopi of Culinary Launch, what was the exact vision? What is the shared vision that you have about this particular event?
So the shared vision is to take it to an international platform
Mm.
where the international audience appreciates Indian food. You
Okay.
still travel, yeah, so you still travel to UK and all of that, but they're still serving a version of Punjabi food.
Mm.
There is more to India than just Punjabi food. There's so much to India. It probably take 3 generations just to understand the cuisines of India. So we wanted to take this to, let us look at the micro cuisines of India.
Mm.
Let's refine it. Let's take it to an international platform where we are showcasing our Indian chefs. And I'm not talking about the so-called Michelin star Indian chefs
Yeah.
or the ones who everyone knows about. So our vision is to take it to a global platform, to create, uh, say, beyond the pop-ups. We want to create documentary films. We want to create research-oriented based
Mm.
recipes. We want to create, like, say, books around the food and the cuisine.
Mm.
We want to create stories around the food. Because today you can get a recipe from anywhere. But the stories are being forgotten. We want to bring back those stories to food and get people to understand the stories and, you know, the love for food through
Yeah.
stories.
Yeah. So how is the French cooking coming into this? I mean, where does that fit in? Did you find any similarities like you spoke about do piazza, which is a very French technique? So what similarities did you discover between classical French cooking and the food traditions of the Kakatiya era?
So, like, if you look at a nihari, the way a nihari is cooked, or we look at the way a stock is cooked, it is slow. The process of making a good stock is very slow.
Hmm.
And when we make that mutton stock for a biryani, for example, it is refined, it is clarified, it is full of flavor. the amount of fat and meat proportion to a stock. These are all research based. These So bringing it back to Indian food, where ustads teach the younger generation. Okay, now the ustad comes from a very uneducated background.
Mm.
He does things by rote, by rota, by memory.
Yeah.
But yeah, so how do I get him? Like, for example, I go into a restaurant today, they will cook Indian food, but no one will use a stock to cook Indian food. For them, a stock is all about putting water and a few leaves of cabbage into it. They've forgotten the old traditions of making a good, flavorful stock full of vegetables that will give my food a lift to it.
Mm.
So these are the techniques that our Indian chefs are not following anymore. Now, we all aspire to become a Michelin star chef, for example. Now, a Michelin star chef, their work is based on discipline. It is
Mm.
based on doing the same recipe over and over again, but getting the flavors also the same over and over again.
Yeah.
I go to an Indian restaurant today. Today, one cook is cooking that dish. Tomorrow, another cook is cooking the same dish. So obviously, the flavor profile is going to change. So
Mm.
until we start putting down systems of this is the recipe and how it has to be made, the flavor profile will be the same always.
Yeah.
And that is what Kakatia a la Frances is all about. Kakatia is about getting our cooks and chefs to make the same dish the same way over and over again.
Mm. Great. So one last question, Chef. What challenges come with interpreting centuries old food traditions for a modern audience?
So the biggest challenge is that nothing has been recorded.
Mm.
Nothing has been truly researched. Everyone tells you a different recipe.
Yeah.
So, so then we have to start standardizing that recipe.
True.
Everyone makes a khichdi a different way, for example. You
Yes.
know, each family makes it differently. So to standardize a recipe for a restaurant is a little difficult. And that comes with the research that Culinary Lounge is doing. They're spending time to do the research, then documenting it and putting it so that you get a standard format to it. And then we take it to an international level.
Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much, Chef. Thank you for joining in the conversation. Thank you so much.
Pleasure talking to you.